Moleni, and welcome to the Conversations with Lankosi YouTube channel. As you know, mine is to inform, educate, and entertain. Lankosi, your host. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we will delve into the political careers of both FikileMbalula and Zizi Kodwa, exploring their successes, controversies, and their impact on the South African political landscape. Zizi Kodwa is no better than Mbalula, so let's get started. To set the stage, FikileMbalula is a well-known figure in South African politics. He gained prominence as the former president of the ANC Youth League and served as the Minister of Sports and Recreation. He then became the face of Wanya Tsotsi and later the Minister of Transport. Mbalula is known for his charismatic and energetic public persona, which earned him the nickname Razmataz. However, Mbalula's role as Minister of Sports and Recreation was not without controversy. There were allegations of mismanagement and corruption surrounding the 2010 FIFA World Cup and allegations of irregular spending on travel expenses. Let us get into this article. Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane has found that FikileMbalula lied when he said he entered into a loan agreement with sporting goods company Sport to cover costs for the 2016 Dubai Christmas trip he took with his family. There is no evidence in my possession that Mr. Mbalula entered into a loan agreement with Mkhwebane said. The Public Protector was presenting her final quarterly reports at a media briefing on Wednesday, where she released reports on several investigations before getting to Mbalula's impropriety. In the report, Mkhwebane made the finding that Mbalula could not afford the trip to the United Arab Emirates city, which is why he sought funding from the director of Sport, Yusuf Dokrat. The snag is that Mbalula was the Minister of Sports at this time, which presents a conflict of interest. Sport is a sponsor of the South African Sports Confederation and Olympic Committee, SASCOC, where it provides clothing to Olympic athletes and officials. SASCOC functions under the Department of Sport. Mkhwebane found Mbalula to have violated the Executive Code of Ethics for Cabinet and Executives. Mr. Mbalula acted in a way that is inconsistent with the conduct of a minister and the standard required by the Constitution, Mkhwebane said. Mbalula and his family went on the trip without knowing how much it would cost, an irresponsible act according to the Public Protector. When the Mbalula family returned from the trip, the minister found that he could not cover the cost of the trip. He then claims to have arranged to receive a loan from Dokrat. Several payments were then made, with two going to travel agency Manlin Travel that dealt with the trip. This payment was made through an inactive company called Raymond Uniforms, which is owned by Dokrat's cousin. Mkhwebane says she does not accept Mbalula's loan agreement claim because had the transactions not been reported in the media, Mr. Mbalula would not have repaid the funds. Mr. Mbalula sought the funds ex post facto and under extreme desperation, Mkhwebane said. Mkhwebane also said Mbalula claimed at some point that he did not know that Dokrat was a director at SAGovernment, but the Public Protector says she does not accept this because Mbalula and Dokrat have known each other for more than 2 decades. Mkhwebane said she has sent the report to President Cyril Ramaphosa, who must take note of it and share it with other cabinet members to prevent this from happening. The Public Protector also recommended that cabinet members and members of the executive be trained on conflict of interest and maladministration. Mkhwebane, though, will not be instituting any remedial action against Mbalula since he is no longer a member of the cabinet. The article can be accessed via Mail and Guardian. Not him lying about not knowing Dokrat. The hell? The audacity. The audacity. Also, to those of you who are wondering what happened with regards to this case, right, and the findings of the Public Protector, the NPA later chose not to prosecute Mr. Mes due to the lack of evidence. This is also among the many incidents that contributed to tarnishing his reputation and has obviously raised concerns about his ability to hold public office responsibly. Hey, not forgetting how things got worse under him when he was in charge of the Department of Transport. Fast forward to Zizi Kodwa, who was also viewed as a rising star within the ANC. Kodwa served as the ANC spokesperson, where he was known for his ability to navigate the media landscape and craft persuasive narratives. However, he had nothing on the late Jackson Mthembu. Anyways, as with any political figure, controversy wasn't far behind Kodwa. In 2018, allegations emerged that Kodwa had sexually assaulted a woman at a party, which led to a highly publicized court case. Kodwa, as you know, the case was eventually dropped due to lack of evidence. Hey, this is a trend. But the incident left a stain on Kodwa's reputation, which raised questions about his character and, suitability for public office. Zizi also held the position of Deputy Minister of State Security. You heard me right, guys. Deputy Minister of State Security. Kodwa's charm and charisma, similar to Mbalula's, earned him a significant following among ANC supporters. I am not too sure about the rest of the public. You know what? Let's just get into this next article. The Commission into State Capture, headed by Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, has recommended that President Cyril Ramaphosa consider the position of Zizi Kodwa as Deputy Minister of State Security because of his tainted relationship with controversial businessman and former EOH boss Johan McKay. This is contained in Part 4 of the report released on Friday. The recommendation is in the section of the report dealing with corruption and fraud in the public sector, including the state organs, and stems from the investigation of the EOH contracts with the city of Johannesburg. During the hearings, the commission heard how McKay funded Kodwa's luxury holidays and also loaned him more than 1.7 million rand. The commission accordingly recommends that the president considers the position of Mr. Kodwa as Deputy Minister of State Security, having regard to the fact that Mr. Kodwa appears to find himself in a position where he is beholden by Mr. Johan McKay, reads the report. Mr. Kodwa is beholden by Mr. Johan McKay, to whom he owes more than 1.7 million rand. On his own version, this is a debt which he cannot immediately repay. The commission also recommended law enforcement agencies to investigate attempts by McKay to induce Kodwa to interfere with procurement processes in the interest of EOH. If its recommendations are implemented, McKay would be subject to multiple criminal investigations. The commission said, though it had not seen evidence to show impropriety on the part of Kodwa in relation to attempts by McKay to induce him to interfere with procurement processes in the interest of EOH, due to time constraints, it could not independently investigate if Kodwa may or may have not done anything to influence the awarding of tenders. It would not be difficult for an influential or important figure in a political party that is the majority party in the municipality to influence either officials within the municipality or councillors of such a municipality to influence relevant officials within the municipality, the report reads. Guys, this is, you can actually access this article via Times Live. Do you guys see why it is difficult for us to believe in the notion that the new dawn is here to uproot corruption? Zizi Kodwa did not only remain untouched after this, but he was later promoted to another ministerial position. This is why in the city, Zizi Kodwa and Mbalula are no different. The two are the same. Okay, they are the same, and they're both red flags. I say this because it boils down to the pattern that we've seen in South African politics, where charismatic leaders with questionable ethics rise to power, only for them to disappoint and betray the public's trust. Let's get into their similarities. Now, let's analyze ama similarities wabone. They both possess magnetic personalities that have cultivated a strong and devoted following. The two also excel at public speaking, using rhetoric to captivate their audiences and rally support from their party. However, charisma alone does not make for effective leadership. South Africa needs leaders who are not only eloquent but also principled, accountable, and competent. Unfortunately, both Mbalula and Kodwa have faced allegations of corruption and misconduct that severely undermines their claims to moral authority. The allegations against Mbalula regarding the mismanagement of funds during the 2010 FIFA World Cup and his irregular travel expenses raised serious concerns about his integrity and ability to handle public funds responsibly. Similarly, the allegations of sexual assault against Kodwa and his admittance to having secured a shady deal to buy a car cast doubt on his character and suitability for holding public office, let alone positions of power. The consequences of having leaders stained by controversy are far reaching, guys. It erodes public trust in the political process and it undermines faith in these institutions that are supposed to serve the country. These allegations and controversies reinforce the perception that politicians are more interested in personal gain than in serving the needs of the masses. South Africa, like many other countries, is grappling with a host of challenges, from a struggling economy and high unemployment rate to corruption and crime. The last thing we need as a country is a crop of leaders who prioritize their own interests over the well-being of the nation. As this video comes to a close, it is essential to recognize that the political landscape is ever evolving. Leaders rise and fall, and public sentiment can shift rapidly. While Mbalula and Kodwa have had their moments in the spotlight, we must remember that true leadership extends beyond charisma and eloquence. South Africa needs leaders who are going to be held accountable, leaders who are principled and dedicated to the betterment of the country. As citizens, it is our duty to scrutinize those in power, hold them accountable for their actions, and strive for a political landscape that is free from corruption and ethical deficiencies. That marks the end of today's video. Thank you so much for lending your eyes and ears. I hope that you found today's video informative. Please do not forget to click on that subscription button or light the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any new uploads. Enkosini.